After 20 long years, James finally decided it was time to return home. He had built a successful life in the UK, with mansions, expensive cars, and everything money could buy. But deep down, something was missing. The laughter of children, the smell of fresh jollof rice from his mother's kitchen, the sound of the village drum. James missed it all. And as Christmas approached, he felt a deep longing for the place he once called home. His mother, now older and wiser, had been asking for years when he would come back. This year, when she called him once again, something in her voice made James realize that it was finally time. "James, my son, come home. Your village misses you," his mother said softly. With that, James made up his mind. He packed his bags, boarded a plane, and after a long journey, landed back in the familiar land of Nigeria. As his plane touched down, he could feel his heart race with excitement. His childhood village awaited him, and he could almost hear the welcoming songs in the distance. When he stepped off the plane, the warmth of the African sun kissed his face, but it was the faces of the people waiting that made his heart swell with joy. Word had spread quickly that James, the billionaire who had left so many years ago, was coming home. As the car drove him through the village roads, James could see the familiar sights: the old school where he had learned to read, the large baobab tree where he used to play football, and the small market square where he bought his first bicycle. But what really caught his attention was the crowd that had gathered. The villagers, young and old, were waiting eagerly for his arrival. They lined the streets, dressed in their Sunday best, with smiles that stretched from ear to ear. The children waved homemade flags, and the elders held their walking sticks, their faces full of pride. The women sang traditional songs, while the men beat drums in rhythm. The entire village seemed to come alive with excitement. When James's car finally pulled into the village square, the cheers were deafening. The villagers clapped, sang, and danced in joy, all gathered to welcome the man who had once left to chase his dreams. James stepped out of the car, and for a moment, he just stood there, taking in the scene. It was a grand welcome, and he had never felt more overwhelmed with emotion. As he walked towards the crowd, his old friend, Kofi, pushed through the sea of people, his face lit up with excitement. "James, my brother, you finally come home," Kofi shouted, pulling him into a bear hug. "I couldn't stay away any longer," James replied, a smile playing on his lips. "I've missed you all." The people cheered even louder as James walked with Kofi toward the center of the village. He could see the pride in their eyes. They were happy to have him back, not because he was a billionaire, but because he was one of them. He was their son, their brother, their friend. The Christmas celebration that night was unlike any James had ever experienced. The entire village gathered around a massive bonfire, dancing and singing. The air was filled with the scent of grilled goat meat and sweet plantains. The children played nearby, running and laughing, while the elders shared stories of old times. James sat down with his family by the fire, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace. He realized that no matter how much success he had achieved in the UK, it was here, in his village, that he truly felt at home. The love of the people, the sense of community, and the simple joys of life, these are the things that money could never replace. As the night wore on, James looked around at his village. The moonlight danced on the faces of his friends and family, and he knew he was exactly where he needed to be. That Christmas, James learned that no amount of wealth could ever replace the value of family, home, and belonging. And from that day forward, he promised to return more often, to cherish the love and warmth of the people who had always supported him. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you on the next one. Bye.